Okay, Brad, next game on the list here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 games left. Detroit, +2 according to Bovada, at Oakland.
Ooh, I like Oakland. I think they've lost. I think they lost two straight, right?
They at least lost last week. Yeah, oh,
They
yeah,
lost to
Green
Green
Bay.
Bay,
They
then they
lost to Green Bay,
lost to
lost to.
Deshaun Jackson in
Hmm.
Houston.
Hmm.
So I think they're due, man. They're going back home. I think they're due for sure.
Yeah, they gave Houston everything they could handle last week, which we talked about at length last week. This roster, they got Tyrell Williams back last week. They got Zay Jones oriented in the game. Josh Jacobs is still a little dinged up. And, the secondary really stepped up to the challenge against Houston. I thought Houston was going to be able to score a lot on, and they stepped up. They did exactly what they had to do to win that game, and they earned the position to do it. Just didn't happen, but, they're building towards something, right? So I'm not
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah. And I'm not surprised at the turnout of that game. I did predict that, and I took Oakland last week. I can't remember if you did or not, Brad. But either way, I like this Oakland team. I like this Detroit team a little bit. Quarterback to quarterback, I think they're about equal. I think Stafford and Carr are about equal in my mind. I know Detroit fans would disagree with that. I don't know how Oakland fans would feel. So comment. Do you think Derek Carr's better? Do you think they're about equal? I think they're about equal, so let me know. Running back, I would give the advantage to Oakland. I don't like how banged up. Oakland's banged up, but they just play hard. We were talking about Miami earlier. They play hard for
They
Gruden.
do. They do.
And, Detroit, you look at Detroit, and they're talking about they just traded their very popular in the locker room safety away for some draft picks, like a 5th-round draft pick. I'm surprised anybody would trade a starting safety that's well-liked and respected in the locker room for a 5th-round pick, even if he doesn't exactly fit your scheme. That's an odd move to me. They're talking about Darius Slay on maybe not Darius. Well, Slay, their cornerback Slay. I might be confusing his first name. They're talking about getting rid of him for some draft picks this week at the deadline. The energy. I just don't love the energy in the Lions building. Very talented team, but it's like a lot of these veteran players are just like, what are you doing? We're still in the hunt, and you're trading all our good players away for draft picks. Like, we're not the Patriots yet. I know that's what they're trying to model the team after. Meanwhile, Oakland, they've already made their transactions. Hunter Renfrow looked fantastic last week. He's starting to ascend. Tyrell Williams, this team is completely different when he's in the lineup. Darren Waller's a beast. Josh Jacobs, if he can continue to get better with his shoulder. I like this team. I think it's a close cover. I have Oakland 30, Detroit 27, so I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I think it's a close cover. Oakland being back at home, I think it's been a while since they've been at home. I think they'll have the juice because I think they had that London game, then the Green Bay game, then the game last week that they lost to Houston in Houston. So I think this Oakland crowd's going to love it, and I think they'll ride that energy early in the game. So we'll see how it goes. So Oakland. Fantasy-wise, Brad, Stafford's a start. Derek Carr's a start. Stafford's actually one of my favorite quarterbacks of the week. I think he'll get some nice yardage against this Oakland defense. Galladay's a start. Marvin Jones is a start. Danny Amendola, believe it or not, is a start. Usually I do not have him as such. And I even have Hockensen as a start. I don't think he'll get in the end zone, but I think he'll get some yards. Jacobs, I think, has a fantastic game, assuming he's healthy enough to roll. I love Tyrell Williams this week. The rest of the receivers, my analytics have them down, but I could see like a guy like Davis or Zay Jones doing a little bit better. And I think Darrel Waller goes off this week, and maybe some of that fallout at the tight end position goes to Moreau as well. I like this Oakland team. I like this Detroit team. Very interesting line, I thought. I think it's going to be a very, very close cover. I'm not going to bet on it because I think it's going to be razor thin, but interesting one.